Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Dobbs Ferry. What a glorious, glorious morning, and we welcome you all. My name is Hartley Connett. I'm the mayor of Dobbs Ferry, and I'm going to make a few opening remarks here. After that, I'm going to introduce County Executive Robert Astorino to say some remarks, and then Legislator Tom Abinanti has joined us here as well. Following that, I will then ask a very special resident to join me in giving sort of a Dobbs Ferry perspective of what we're announcing today. But as I said, it's a glorious morning to be able to announce what we're announcing today. And in doing this, I'd like to welcome and recognize County Executive Robert Astorino and his staff from the county, County Legislator Tom Abinanti as well. Thank you very much for coming here to Dobbs Ferry and all you do to support us, and particularly in this particular project. I want to recognize members of the Dobbs Ferry Board of Trustees, Trustee David Koenigsberg, and who has been the liaison to our Waterfront Committee and for the work that he's done and contributed. I want to recognize all the Dobbs Ferry department heads that are here and the village staff that all work so hard on behalf of our residents and make this such a wonderful and great place to live. I want to recognize past village officials and mayors, Mayor Mara, Mayor Monahan, Mayor Bova, Mayor Seskin, for being here and joining us and all you've done in the past to make this village a great place. I want to recognize the chairs and members of the Waterfront Committee who have worked tirelessly to help get us to this point. Certainly want to recognize all the residents of Dobbs Ferry who are here, and so many of you that volunteer your time to make this village a much better place. I want to recognize, and who will join me a little bit later here, a very special resident and couple whose incredibly generous private financial commitment is a most important element of us allowing this community to achieve this vision, and who you'll hear from a little bit later on today from the Dobbs Ferry side. I want to welcome all the members of the press who are here and allowing us not only to give out a great little message about our little village, but something that's important for the county. I also want to recognize somebody who's not here, the late trustee Larry Dangler, who should be here as much as anybody, and I know is looking down. We lost Larry a couple of months ago. He worked tirelessly on the waterfront vision and things that were important for this environment. Nobody should be here more than he should be. We know he's looking down really with a lot of pride at what we're doing here today. Thank you, Larry. As was announced by the county in a press release last Thursday, the village of Dobbs Ferry and the county of Westchester has reached a preliminary agreement whereby the county will contribute $2 million to help us realize the project, the stabilization, revitalization project, our waterfront vision, and which also incorporates the Riverwalk Trailway, which is a plan of the county to have 51 planned miles of winding trailways along the shores of the Hudson River and through the various communities of Westchester County. No more beautiful place than to do it here in Dobbs Ferry. This is a big event for us, a big announcement, but it's more than about Dobbs Ferry. It's about the environment, it's about sustainability, it's about governments working together and incorporating the private sector, and it's about jobs. So there's a lot of great things that are going on here. And without further ado, I'd like to call up County Executive Robert Astorino, and for all his help and the county help, to tell you a little bit more about this project from the county's perspective. Robert.
Thank you, Mayor. It was just a couple of weeks ago that they sent us upriver. We were in Tarrytown, Legislator Abinanti and I, and others, to officially open the 1 mile segment of the Riverwalk in Tarrytown. But today we're here in Dobbs Ferry, and we're talking about a preliminary agreement for the development of another half a mile section of the beautiful Riverwalk, which will run along the shore, which we're standing at today, and weave in and out of the shoreline. And if you haven't seen the plans, please, before you leave, come up and look at what it actually will entail for this whole park and this whole area, and how it actually goes in and out of the areas of the downtown sections of our river towns, back into the shoreline, and goes back and forth. So it has a lot of purposes here. As Legislator Abinanti and Mayor Connett will tell you, this really is an important part of the $7 million revitalization of the village's waterfront park. The project is important because it does address two of our greatest needs: economic growth and environmental preservation. Too often these needs are at odds. In this case, though, they have been blended into a single common good. The reason is that the foundation of this project is a great public-private partnership, and it's great to see so many of the partners here today. Standing here on the shore of Dobbs Ferry, I can just visualize how magnificent this section of the Riverwalk will really be. Aside from just looking at it on paper, if you just close your eyes for a minute and then open them and see how beautiful this will be and how many children and adults will be able to spend time here, and people from outside Dobbs Ferry, quite frankly, that can come and spend some money in the village of Dobbs Ferry, as well as enjoy the pristine view of the Hudson River. Riverwalk, for anyone who does not know it, is our planned 51-mile trailway that weaves through the main streets of historic river towns, connecting recreational and cultural sites along the way. It spans 14 municipalities, and this is not a pipe dream, by the way, because to date 33 miles of trailway has been paved and unpaved segments, including existing sidewalks and promenades. And if you want to see the overview of the whole trailway system prepared by the Westchester County Department of Planning, go to our website, westchestergov.com, and go to the Riverwalk section, and you can get a really nice picture of what it's all about. We're building Riverwalk piece by piece, and each piece is different with different challenges. Sometimes we have to pass through municipal property, sometimes through or around private property, often near Metro North's property, but in all instances, none of it could be done without the cooperation of our local and state officials and the help of our residents. Under terms of the preliminary agreement for Riverwalk and the park here in Dobbs Ferry, the county will contribute $2 million. New York State will also contribute $2 million. The village will contribute $1 million, and a private benefactor will contribute another $1 million. And the private benefactor will contribute another $500,000 if the village raises the same amount in private donations. So there's a lot at stake. You can see how complicated it can be at times, but it is well worth the effort. It gives our residents a magnificent trailway to explore. They can get on and off the trail and see parts of Westchester that they may not have otherwise ever visited. It gives our local communities the help they need to protect their unique waterfront. And I look forward to coming back here, hopefully in the not-too-distant future, with my children and my wife to enjoy this beautiful part of our county. So thank you very much for inviting me here today, and I look forward to the grand opening sometime in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rob. I'd also like to add from the county side that we got a lot of help from Deputy County Executive Kevin Plunkett and Chief of Staff George Orris, who I met with on numerous occasions with the Dobbs Ferry team, who gave us the time and listened to our appeals, and we know we weren't the only ones that had projects out there to present. We thank you very much for giving us the attention and helping us along the way, and certainly all the members of the planning department, and particularly Anthony Zano, for your help, who's done these projects, and without you we wouldn't have this vision. We'll talk more about that later. Thank you very much. I'd next like to introduce County Legislator Tom Abinanti. Tom has been a great friend to Dobbs Ferry. He's come to our assistance on many occasions when we've had issues to deal with, and he has been integral in pushing this project forward as well at the county legislative level. So I'd like to ask Thomas Abinanti, our county legislator, to say some words as well.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. Isn't this a beautiful site? Isn't this just gorgeous? I remember being here in 1983 with one of the prior mayors. I see another mayor, Mayor Mara, over here. I think it was Mayor Reed, and I was just looking at the plaque, 1983, July 4th. I was the village prosecutor at the time, I think, and we were here dedicating this park, and we were dedicating it to the history of Dobbs Ferry. As I understand it, this is the site where the original Dobbs Ferry went across the river. So it's a historic site, in addition to being a beautiful site. And I'm struck by the beauty of the river, but also by the reminder that the river has been such an integral part of our community and our history and our reason for being. The reason that these communities developed in the first place was because of the river. And the river is still such an important part of our everyday life. So it gives me great pleasure to be here today. One, to assist the village of Dobbs Ferry in preserving its riverfront so that the people of Dobbs Ferry can continue to enjoy this beautiful spot and the rest of the beautiful park that extends north from here. But also to be here so that the county will be able to continue its Riverwalk, so that the people of the entire county can enjoy the Hudson River and go from one end of the county to the other. The Riverwalk, just like the river, brings all of our communities together. And it's so important that we recognize that we're in this together. that we need to work together, especially today in these hard times. We need to work together as a small community and as a larger community, and we have to help each other. And that's what we're doing here today. You've got the village going forward with a very difficult project, but they're doing a great job in making sure that it goes forward. And you have the county coming forward to lend assistance. I feel like the link. I've got 1 foot in White Plains and 1 foot in Dobbs Ferry, and I have to make sure that you guys stay close together, because if you go too far apart, I fall into the river. But it's, at any rate, so I'm very pleased to be here. I want to congratulate everybody who brought us to this point. And I'd like to lastly also just put one word in and say thank you to Marie for her persistence and her contribution, because she was the spark plug that really got this whole thing together. When we saw Marie out there, she's kind of the symbol of this. When a citizen steps forward and says we should do this, we all know that we're doing the right thing. So thank you for letting me join you this morning.
Thank you very much, Tom. At this point, I would like to ask Marie McKellar to join me at the podium. And Arch, if you'd like to come up, or leave it to Marie. There's been some mention of a private benefactor that's played such an important role, and Marie McKellar is that person. And without her incredible generosity, none of this would be possible. And this is, again, the private link that Rob and Tom both mentioned. It's really an important component of pulling this all together. The waterfront vision, and I know Marie wants to say it, has a long history here in Dobbs Ferry, and it actually extends back to the 1990s, really when some people started, which was then the beginnings of the local waterfront revitalization program, or the LWRP. People like Charlene Payton, who's not here with us today and has moved on, worked tirelessly to pull that together, and so many people were involved. That LWRP was actually adopted in 2005. I was on that board, and that was led by Mayor Monahan, and so many people, again, along the way, across so many administrations, and again, being represented here today with Mayors Donald Mara and Brian Monahan, Joe Boba, and Scott Seskin. We certainly want to thank all the chairs, the current chair, Stephen Hunter, and all the members of the Waterfront Committee, from my perspective, that have done such an incredible job and deserve all the credit. Past chairs, Frank Farrington, who was really involved in this thing at the very, very outset. But again, Maria McKellar, and having somebody in our community who can step up. And Marie, it's a wonderful thing that you're doing, and I'd like you to say a few words here at this great moment.
Thanks, Hartley. We moved here in 2001 and attended a meeting run by Charlene Payton showing diagrams of a proposed renovated waterfront park with beautiful walking trails. At that time, the actual walking trail had huge holes in it. By 2007, we realized the project was dead unless we injected some money. So I went to Bettina Spire and Charlotte Frankenthaler and asked them for advice. And Charlotte said, come to my committee. So her Conservation Advisory Board endorsed our proposal, went to the board, village board, and Mayor Seskin established the Waterfront Committee in 2007. We've been working for almost 3 years now. But as everyone says, previous committees have been working on it since early in the 90s. So finally, here we are. So many people have given so much time and knowledge. Anthony Zano of the county drew up terrific plans and kept us moving all along. Marcus Serrano oversaw the grant from the state for $2 million and its matching requirement, which is crucial. Then the final piece from the county. So as Ron said, and as Tom said, we have all come together on this, the state, the county, the village, and private funds. What a partnership. Charlotte Frankenthaler, Rob Astorino, Tom Abinanti, Hartley, Connett, Steve Hunter, Steve Tilley, Elizabeth Martin, David Koenigsberg, and so many others, all working together for the good of Dobbs Ferry and the county. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Marie. And thank you, everybody, for contributing. Just a few final notes. I'd like to thank Ned McCormick and Donna Green from the County Communications Department for putting this together, and Marcus Serrano. Thank you very much, Dobbs Ferry Village Administrator, for dialing in the weather. I asked you to do that, and you got it done. Great job. And one last note, for those of you that can stick around, we have some one of our great restaurants here in Dobbs Ferry, and we welcome all of you back from out of town here. We've got a lot of great restaurants here in Dobbs Ferry. One of them right down here on the waterfront, Half Moon Restaurant. Angelo Lipitor has graciously offered to serve us coffee and Danish and some juice and mid-morning snacks for anybody that might want to stick around. We can walk right through here along the Riverway, or Riverwalk. Riverway's not done yet, but it will be soon, and enjoy some refreshments with at Half Moon Restaurant. Again, thank you all for coming out. Wonderful day. Great. Thank you. Good luck.